Alright folks, I just had to hop on here and address this ridiculous moment I stumbled across on Twitter. Like, I cannot believe we're even having this conversation. People are seriously calling a legitimate rebound stat padding. I mean, are we watching the same game here? Let me break this down for you. Because this whole thing has spiraled out of control and it's time we clear things up. So picture this, there's a live game happening, it's intense. And the ball comes down from a missed shot. The game is still competitive. It's not over. And what happens? The ball lands directly in her hands. Right place, right time. She didn't hustle out of position. She didn't go chasing after some meaningless stat. She's literally just playing defense. But now people are blowing this up, saying she's stat padding her rebounds. Are you kidding me? Let me tell you, this isn't some blowout game where players are dribbling out the clock. The other team was still taking shots. It was a 4-point game. There's no room for garbage time numbers here. This is the WNBA, not your local pickup game at the park. Now, I know why people are extra sensitive about this right now. There's been a lot of talk around stat padding in the WNBA, and even more broadly in sports, with players chasing triple-doubles and historical numbers. There's a growing concern that some athletes might be more focused on their personal stats rather than actually winning games. That conversation has spilled over into moments like this. I get it, stats matter. Triple-doubles are becoming a bigger and bigger deal in the W. And that's why this topic is even trending right now. But here's the thing, there's a difference between inflating numbers in a game that's already decided and playing smart, competitive basketball. We all know when a game is over, and players are just padding their numbers to look good on paper. But this was not one of those times. The Sparks were still trying to make a run, and she was in the game doing her job. I threw up a poll in the chat. And guess what? 94 of people said this was not stat padding, so why are we still talking about this? Like seriously, Twitter's become the cesspool of bad takes lately, and this one might take the cake. So almost 1,000 people voted, and 97 said it wasn't even close to stat padding. Yet here we are, with that small 3 acting like she should have just let the ball bounce or something. Here's the kicker though, when we start accusing players of stat padding for simply grabbing a rebound, what does that say about how we value hustle and effort? She was there in position because she's a smart player. You're telling me we're gonna punish that now? This is the WNBA we're talking about. Every single possession matters, especially in a close game. And let's not forget, Indiana is on a hot streak. The last time they won 5 games in a row, it was back in 2015. Yeah, 2015. You know what else was happening in 2015? Caitlin Clark was still in middle school. That's how long it's been. And yet, here we are, talking about someone stat padding when the team is making serious moves to climb the standings. It's mind-blowing. Oh, and about Caitlin Clark, she's out here dropping a triple-double. And people still want to talk about stat padding. Come on. And not just any triple-double. She put up 15 points in the second half alone. You don't just luck into numbers like that. And the same principle applies to what we saw in the Indiana game. What makes this even more frustrating is the hypocrisy. Nobody seems to mind when a player like Angel Reese dominates the boards game after game, and rightly so. She's one of the best rebounders in the league. But when someone else does it, suddenly we're calling it stat padding. No one has ever seriously accused Angel Reese of padding her stats. So why are we throwing shade now? Look, stat padding has been a topic in sports for ages. It's not new, and we've seen it happen before in different contexts. Bob Sura, for example, back in the NBA was infamous for trying to grab meaningless rebounds to get his triple-doubles. And you know what? People called it out then. And it was fair because the game was over, and it was clear he was doing it for personal glory. But this is not that. This is a player doing her job in a tight game where every play matters. A team still fighting to secure the win, not someone padding stats in garbage time. And let's be honest, if we're going to criticize this, then we've lost all perspective on what good basketball looks like. At the end of the day, this whole stat padding accusation is nonsense. She was playing the game, contributing to her team, and the ball ended up in her hands because she was supposed to be there. End of story. Let's stop devaluing players' efforts just because it fits some narrative about chasing stats. This wasn't some cheap, meaningless play. It was part of a real competitive game. So if you agree that this stat padding debate has gotten out of hand, smash that like button. And if you want to stay updated with real, no-nonsense takes on the WNBA and sports in general, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Let's get this channel to 15K subscribers, because we're not slowing down anytime soon. And hey, while you're here, drop a comment. Let me know if you've ever seen something crazier than this stat padding nonsense. Did it bother you, or do you think it's just part of the game? Let's have that conversation down below, because I'm genuinely curious how you all feel about this. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.